you remember when you were a little kid? Running on the playgrounds during recess, eating push pops, not caring about how your hair looked or what you wore to school. Those were the days. Running wild, not caring about what others thought, just being yourself. I loved those days. And after my first year of college, boy, do I miss them. If there was one thing that I disliked throughout life, it was growing up. You can probably guess that Peter Pan, yeah, I wanted to be him because I wanted to never grow up, fly, and fight pirates. Growing up, there was one thing I didn't like. Being told what I could and couldn't do. Worst thing was, I had an older sister who could do all the things I couldn't. And I always wanted to be just like her and do everything she did. Our church always had a Father's Day camping trip. I remember throwing a huge fit because she got to go camping with Dad and I couldn't. I also have these two younger brothers, and they always had to beat me. Kale learned how to ride a bike before me. I remember throwing a huge fit because he said that I couldn't do it because I was a girl. Oofta. I was furious. But 2 days later, I was riding faster than him. I hated not being able to ride a roller coaster because I wasn't tall enough. Not being able to watch CSI because I wasn't old enough. Couldn't stay up late, couldn't go where I wanted. Seems like the only time I got to do what I wanted, when I wanted, was at Grandma's or Nana's house. When you were a little kid, didn't it seem like you were the king of the castle at your grandparents' house? Well, at my grandparents' house, I was never wrong. Okay, sometimes I was wrong, but it was at their houses that I learned some of the most important life lessons. My Nana's house was my home far away from home, my vacation spot in Carlsbad, New Mexico. At Nana's house, I could spend the entire day in a room full of craft supplies, making one-of-a-kind designs. Then run around the floor, sliding on the hardwood floors in my socks, playing football in the field, and riding our bikes to Uncle Daryl's house. The best part was when Nana would take my siblings and I to the park. We would spend hours playing hide and go seek in a huge castle. At Nana's house, we were always young, never growing up. I learned that the Bible has all the right answers. Westerns, they never get old. Golf is a way of life, and you must eat a bowl of cereal before you can have one of Nana's famous homemade cinnamon rolls. At Nana's house, I learned to always be creative and let my imagination run wild. Now, how many of you guys have a tough, and I mean tough, grandma? Well, my grandma, she's a street fighter. And as tough as they get. At Grandma's house, any shoes besides boots were worthless. If you didn't like the smell of cow manure in the mornings, too bad. You better get used to that. And you better not make plans on Friday nights because the livestock sale won't be over until after midnight. And you better not drink Grandpa's coffee or disturb him when he's watching the horse races. My grandma is one of those most hard-headed, independent, stubborn women I have ever met. Both of them are. And if it wasn't for my grandma, college would have been a lot more stressful and probably cost a lot more. She's the master of all scholarships and applications. She's taught me that smart is beautiful. And nobody is as pretty as her grandkids. Don't even try to argue with her on that one. You will lose. At Grandma's house, I learned that with courage and hard work, you can accomplish anything. All of my grandparents have taught me countless life lessons, but the one I admire most is that nothing is impossible. With imagination and hard work, you can overcome any obstacle. I may only be 19 years old, but in my life, the possible has proved itself through those two traits. You see, growing up, everyone always told me it was impossible to lick your nose and elbow. Give it a try. Can you guys lick your nose or elbow? Come on, try it. I can see some of you. Well, you see, I always believed others around me, I never tried it for myself. But then one day, I did the impossible. I licked my nose. See? I did what I thought was impossible. However, I can't lick my elbow. So that was always impossible. Until the day that I saw my friend, it was second grade, she licked her elbow. My mind was blown. She did the impossible too. Turns out 2% of people can lick their elbows. You see, most people believe that something is impossible just because they cannot do it themselves. Have you ever thought that something was impossible because you couldn't do it? Just because you cannot accomplish something doesn't mean it's impossible for others. Have you ever given up on a dream or a goal because someone else limited you? Do not let what limits others limit you. Has someone's failure ever caused you to give up and fail as well? It is believed to be impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Roger Bannister broke that limit, and within a month, it was broken again. And within a year, 12 more people ran a mile in under 4 minutes. Now, over 900 people have ran a mile in under 4 minutes. Limits can be broken. It just takes a little faith, some positivity, courage, and willpower. Step out of your comfort zone. Dare to go where no one has gone before. Do the impossible. A young girl born with the challenge of having no arms and no legs has a dream to show in her county fair. Impossible. How is she going to show an animal from a wheelchair? How is she going to lead that animal around the arena? Never underestimate the impossible. This girl proved the impossible wrong. An elderly man who can no longer climb into his tractor is facing selling his farm. Farming has been his life, and he is not yet ready to retire. Never underestimate the impossible. With the help of new technologies, he proved the impossible wrong by developing a new way to climb into his tractor. They said it would be worthless to show a pig with 3 legs. They told the boy that it would be better off to butcher the hog after it got caught up in a fence a few weeks before show. But he had another idea. Never underestimate the impossible. That boy, they were proven wrong because that pig took second place in the class. So tell me, what is impossible? Some people say that over time, distance can ruin friendships. Never underestimate the impossible. Most of my closest friends and these 7 teammates sitting right here are miles away. We may not be close to each other, but we are close at heart. We are beginning to prove them wrong because to us, miles don't matter, and distance isn't for the fearful, it's for the bold. Statistics say that only 32% of people with throat cancer survive. But because my grandma is a street fighter and the toughest woman I know, she beat the odds and proved the impossible wrong. Doctors told my grandma this year that she only had a 43% chance to live. Never underestimate the impossible. Has someone ever told you that something was impossible? Maybe they didn't believe in you and maybe you lost hope. Well, I was told that I didn't have the leadership skills required to become a state officer. Someone told me I can't. Someone told me it would be impossible. Never underestimate the impossible. With courage and hard work, the imagination and hard work, the skills I learned from my grandparents, I proved the impossible wrong. If I would not have dared the impossible, and if I would have listened to those around me, I would not be standing here today, and I would have missed out one on one incredible year with you FFA members. You see, Muhammad Ali once said, "The impossible is just a big word thrown around by small people who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it." Impossible is not a fact, it is an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. My favorite quote by Audrey Hepburn says, "Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible." The possible has given sight to the blind, broken the unbreakable, dared the daring, gave risk to those who are willing to take it, and hope to the hopeless. Do not believe what is said to be impossible. Do not let others tell you it is impossible. You are possible. Do not settle for the world you have been given. I dare you to face the impossible and change it.
Ashley, every time we walk into a room, we always are lit up by your bright smile. Your hard work and dedication and inspiration to this organization has been mastered by none. You are an incredible part of our team, and we're going to miss you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2012-2013 State FFA Secretary, Ashley Miller.